Good morning, my name is Rebecca Bardsley. I'm here to do a presentation of human digestive system and human nutrition. I'll be discussing the structure of the human digestive system. The path of digestion starts with the mouth, larynx, esophagus, the liver, stomach, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Digestion starts in the mouth. There are 3 salivary glands, and the sublingual gland, submandibular gland and the parotid gland. Salivary amylase enzymes break down starch and carbohydrates into monosaccharides. The tongue and teeth aid in digestion. The mouth produces 1.5 litres of saliva a day. The teeth break down the food and grind it. The tongue knead it and mix it with enzymes in the saliva, which makes into a bolus, which is swallowed. The larynx is a chamber above the esophagus that uses the longitudinal muscles to help push food down into the esophagus. Longitudinal fibres lift the walls of the larynx to aid in swallowing. This is called peristalsis. The muscles do a wave-like action which moves the food or bolus down the esophagus. The esophagus is a thin tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. The liver, which is one of the largest organs in the body, can regenerate itself and releases a chemical called bile into the intestines. Bile breaks down and absorbs lipids in the food. The liver also creates albumin, which is a blood protein that carries hormones, drugs and fatty acids throughout the body. The liver finds and destroys harmful bacteria that enters the body. The liver stores carbohydrates and breaks it down into glycogen, which produces glucose. The stomach anatomy. The stomach is a muscular bag that mixes food and drink with acids. Parietal cells produce hydrochloric acid. Enteroendocrine cells produce gastrin that helps with digestion. Once food is processed, it's called chyme. Enzymes pepsin breaks down proteins into smaller peptides, kills bacteria that may have come into contact with food you may have consumed. Stomach lining secretes mucus that protects itself from the hydrochloric acid, made up of 3 sub-layers of muscle to help churn the food. You can hold food for 3 to 5 hours. The histology of the stomach. The stomach is made of 3 regions: cardiac, fundus and pyloric. The cardiac, which contains mucus-secreting glands called cardiac glands, and is the closest to the esophagus. The fundus, the body or the largest part of the stomach, which contains the gastric fundic glands. Pyloric, which creates 2 types of mucus and the hormone gastrin. Mechanical digestion involves the teeth that break down the food, the tongue that kneads the food to form a bolus, the esophagus that pushes the food down into the stomach, and the stomach muscles contract to churn the food. The pancreas. This releases pancreatic enzymes into the intestines, which break down the carbohydrates, proteins and lipids in food. It makes hormones that aid in digestion. These hormones help regulate blood sugar levels, appetite and send signals to your stomach that it is empty. Pancreatic hormones, insulin, glucagon, gastrin and amylin. Endocrine cells produce insulin and release it into the bloodstream. This helps to regulate sugar levels. When blood sugar levels rise, insulin is released to help sugar to be absorbed into the bloodstream. Insulin helps the liver and the muscles store sugar, as well as stopping the liver from producing too much sugar, which lowers your blood sugar level. When blood sugar levels get too low, the pancreas releases glucagon. This makes the liver release its stored sugar. Once the levels have risen to the pancreas stops releasing glucagon. Enzymes. There are 3 types of enzymes: carbohydrates, protease, and lipase. Carbohydrates amylase in saliva breaks down starch into sugars. Lipase breaks down lipids from oil and fats in food. Protease breaks down protein into amino acids in the stomach. Hydrochloric acid in the stomach kills bacteria, microorganisms that may be in the food. Enzymes are proteins that are able to break down larger molecules into smaller molecules. Small intestine. It's made up of 3 sections: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. It is the longest part of the digestive tract. Carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins digest in this section. The digested nutrients are then absorbed into the blood. Food molecules are small enough to pass it into the bloodstream. It has many villi that can also contain capillaries to aid with absorption of food molecules. They stick out on the inner side of the small intestine to create a greater surface area made of thin permeable wall. Duodenum. This is the first part of the small intestine. It is the shortest segment, 23 to 28 centimeters long, and is a C-shaped organ attached to the stomach. A common biliary duct is attached to the duodenum, which feeds in enzymes from the liver and pancreas. The mucous lining of the last 2 segments of the duodenum begins the absorption of nutrients, in particular iron and calcium, before the food contents enter the next part of the small intestine, the jejunum. The ileum. It is the longest part of the small intestine. It absorbs vitamin B12, bile salts, and the last of the food products that weren't absorbed in the jejunum. Peyer's patches prevent infection and bacteria growth. The villi to increase surface area in the intestinal wall and speed up absorption into the bloodstream. Muscularis, a smooth wall of muscle that help contract the intestine to move chyme along. Submucosa contains nerve endings and secretes mucus throughout the intestines. The goblet cells produces mucin in an immune response to bacteria and pathogens inside the intestines. And the crypts aid in absorption of nutrients, helping to separate the cells. These are the 3 histologies of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The large intestine. Food which cannot be broken down, mainly fibre, that passes into the large intestine. Water is absorbed into the bloodstream. The functions of the large intestines are: it breaks down the indigestible fibres, so it makes it easier to pass through the large intestine. It removes the water from the indigestible matter passing through the large intestine, and also absorbs any minerals or vitamins that are left over from previous digestion. It secretes a mucus that makes it easier to pass feces through the large intestine. The colon is made up of 4 parts: the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon. The rectum and anus. Any undigested food passes into the rectum where it stored feces. The rectum is the opening at the very end of the digestive system through which feces leave the body. The rectum is the final part of the large intestine. It has 2 sphincters, internal and external. The internal sphincter is moved involuntarily. The external sphincter is voluntarily opened. The nerves in the rectum send signals to the brain when needing to defecate. Chemical digestion. Salivary amylase enzymes break down starch and carbohydrates into monosaccharides. The stomach, pepsin breaks down protein into amino acids. The duodenum is where fat and carbohydrates are broken down. Pancreatic lipase breaks down fat into fatty acids. Chemical digestion occurs when enzymes digest food into nutrients. Bile is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. This is released into the small intestine to break down the large molecules of lipids into smaller ones. This is not digestion because it doesn't break down lipids into nutrients to smaller droplets. This is called emulsification and increases the surface area for the enzymes to act upon. Okay. The seven requirements to a balanced diet is consume carbohydrates, fibre, vitamins, minerals, unsaturated fats, protein and water. There are two types of carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are made up of sugars and fructose. Complex carbohydrates are made up of starchy foods such as bread, rice, pasta and potatoes. It is advised by the World Health Organization that half of your energy intake comes from carbohydrates. Fibre is found in many foods. Fibre is found in wholemeal and whole wheat and whole grains. Fruit and vegetables also contain a lot of fibre. Consuming pulses and legumes are another way of consuming fibres. Fibre is essential in keeping a healthy digestion as it prevents you from becoming constipated and helps keep you fuller for longer. Eating plenty of fibre is associated with a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes and bowel cancer. It is advised we consume 30 grams of fibre a day. Most adults and children find it difficult to consume all the necessary vitamins to maintain a balanced diet. Different types of vitamins are found in fruits and vegetables. Supplements are also designed to be taken alongside a healthy diet and not as a substitute for foods. Minerals are found in a variety of foods such as nuts, seeds, fruit and vegetables, shellfish, eggs, dairy products and ancient grains. Minerals are very important to maintaining a healthy diet and body. There are two types of minerals, macrominerals and microminerals. Macrominerals are needed in a higher level concentration than microminerals. Calcium, potassium, sodium, magnesium, chloride, phosphorus are all macrominerals. Fat is another important part of a balanced diet. There are two types of fat, unsaturated fat and saturated fat. There has been no absolute proof that you should cut out all saturated fats, but it is also advised that you should shift to consuming unsaturated fats over saturated fats, as saturated fats can increase the chances of developing heart disease. As with any type of food that contains fat, if you consume too much unsaturated fat, it can become unhealthy. Consume unsaturated fats within moderation. You will find unsaturated fats mainly in plant-based products such as olive oil, butters, nuts and seeds, avocados, eggs and fish. Protein is very important in growth and maintenance. You will find some amount of protein in most foods, but some foods contain a higher amount of protein than others. There are higher amounts of protein in eggs, chicken and dairy products, nuts and lentils. Dietary protein is very popular now, where products such as yogurts or milkshakes are now contain higher artificially added protein. Water is the final requirement for a balanced, healthy diet. You should try to consume 1.5 litres to 2 litres of water a day. Water is an easily accessed item. It can be accessed via taps or bottled. Drinking tea, milk, fruit juices and other fluids counts for a short water intake. Drinking other things besides water is beneficial as they contain vitamins, minerals, healthy sugars and healthy fats. But consuming drinks too high in sugar can be damaging to your dental health. Drink juices and sugary drinks within moderation. Dietary imbalances and symptoms. Obesity can cause gastrointestinal diseases such as Crohn's, IBS, ulcers, and cancer. Malnutrition can cause fainting, infertility, increased frequencies of illness, hypoglycemia, shakiness and nausea, changes in appearance such as thinning hair, muscle loss, and skin changes. Malnutrition in obesity can be caused by not ingesting enough of the right foods. Too much sugar, fats, and carbohydrates are consumed when no vitamins or minerals are consumed, meaning a lack of vital vitamins and minerals. Deficiency diseases and symptoms. Anemia can be caused by not eating leafy greens that are rich in iron. The symptoms are paleness, shortness of breath, dizziness, nausea, cold hands and feet. Scurvy. A lack of vitamin C means slow healing and easy to bleed, weakness, fatigue, soreness in legs and arms. Rickets is caused by a lack of vitamin D. It causes deformities in bones such as bow legs and not knees. Also affects growth of adult health, deformities in skull and tooth growth. Calcium. Calcium deficiency can be caused poor growth and brittle bones. Goiter. Enlarged thyroid gland causes by lack of iodine. Consume iodinated salt. Beriberi. Shortage of vitamin B causes nerve and heart problems, weakened muscles and paralysis. Dietary recommendations. The World Health Organization recommends getting at least half of your energy intake from carbohydrates and no more than 30% from fats. The organisation also recommends 400 grams of fruit and vegetables daily. The male recommended calorie intake is 2,500 a day. The female recommendation is 2,000 a day. You should try to consume 5 portions of fruit or veg a day. 80 grams is a portion. 2 portions of fish a week, 1 being oily. 140 grams is a portion. To reduce lifestyle impacted diseases, it is recommended that you do 150 minutes of exercise per week. You should also try to be active every day. Sitting or lying down for more than 7 hours a day can increase the risk of poor health. The recommended amount of sleep an adult should have is 7 to 9 hours per night. To help achieve this, try to avoid large meals before bed, drinking caffeinated beverages, using technology before bed, and don't smoke before bed. These are only some of the many recommendations that will help improve sleep. Being conscious about a balanced, healthy diet, regular exercise, enough rest and sleep, keeping a healthy state of mind, doing things you enjoy, relax, reduce stress, and practice moderation. How to maintain a healthy body. Exercise regularly. 30 minutes at a time is a healthy amount in one exercise time. Limit exposure to toxins such as chemicals and tobacco. Keep your cholesterol to a normal range. If you have diabetes, manage your sugar levels. Do not share personal items with other people, such as needles, razors, toothbrushes, etc. Don't smoke. Manage healthy weight. Limit your alcohol. Be careful with how you manage medication. Speak to a doctor or pharmacist, and also practice safe sex. Well, thank you for listening to my presentation today, and hope you have a good day. Thank you.